Alright guys, this is a how-to video on getting into your test in order to make corrections tomorrow while I am gone out of class. Uh, these corrections are for your benefit. It's a way to reclaim some credit. Maybe you didn't do as well as you had hoped to on the test. This can get you some credit back. You'll be able to get half the points available. So if you missed a multiple choice question, those were worth 2 points each. You can get 1 point back. If you missed the matching, you can get half a point for each of the terms that you go back and correct. So let's say you miss 5, you correct all 5 of them. Instead of having a 5 out of 10, you'd get a 7.5 out of 10. For your for your true false, you're only going to get a half credit back for that because it's 1 or 2 answers. If you guessed the wrong one on the first one, it's pretty easy to reclaim that credit. So you can't get full credit back. Instead of doing retakes, this is what we're going to work with for the rest of the year. This is kind of an experiment with it. Haven't tried it like this, but my freshmen like this, the way that this is set up, and I think you guys will too. So in order to access your test, you obviously have to log back into Blackboard. I'm going to log in using a dummy account created just for this video. Once you log in, click on my class, go over to our Grease and Rome tab, and then scroll down to the test and study guide folder. Now here you should notice on yours that the requires respond as lockdown browser is no longer part of the test name. That's because I took it down. And here's the important thing that you need to remember. In doing your corrections, you cannot go back in through lockdown browser to do them. In fact, it just doesn't work. You can't copy and paste. You can't print from lockdown. So use Chrome, use Firefox, use Safari, use whatever. Just don't use lockdown. This is only for test corrections that lockdown does not work. For every test that we'll take, we'll still do that. But when we come to corrections, this is what you got to do. All right, anyway, once you're here, click on the test as if you were going to take it again. It should bring you to this screen. That's fine. Click on begin, and here's where you're at. You should see either go back to class, which you don't want to do, or review all attempts. You do want to view all your attempts. Once you get here, your screen's going to look a little different than mine. I haven't gone back in as the teacher and graded my actual test. So for me, I don't have a grade calculated over here. I just have an icon. For you guys, you should have a number right under this calculated grade heading for this row. So click on your number. I'm going to click on the icon. You click on the number. When I do that, it brings up my test. A couple things to note. All your information should be up here. Your test will be in a different order than, say, your neighbor's is, so you can't just sit down and try to knock this out together. It's randomized by when you take it, so just to prevent any kind of cheating like that on the test. So your test is going to look different than your neighbor's. How you know that you got a question incorrect is this. Over here on the right-hand side, it'll tell you how many points out of the total number possible did you actually get. The only part where you could have partial credit is on the matching. So on the matching, if you say have like 6 out of 10, 4 of your questions over here, 4 of your terms did not match the correct definitions. It does not say which ones you got correct and which ones you got incorrect. See right here on question 4, I got 1 term right, but it doesn't say, hey, it's, barbarians, or it doesn't say it's Xerxes. You have to go in and you have to start looking at your notes, start looking at some other information, and figure that out, okay? So make sure you know how to get to the questions that you actually got wrong. If you see a 0 out of 2 on your multiple choice, that means you got that question wrong. You're going to have to go back and figure it out. If you have a 0 out of 1 on your true false, that's how you know you got those wrong, all right? So how do you get this document to a place to where you can edit it? Well, the first thing you can do is you can go in your browser up to File, Print, and then just print the screen off that way. Now, you can do that, but it might not be the best idea because it can cut some stuff off as far as text and answers and things like that, and make it really difficult to figure out. So here's what I would do. I would copy and paste my entire test. So I'm going to highlight starting all the way at the top, and then I'm going to scroll down and just hold your finger down on your trackpad, So it continues to highlight or on your mouse, and then just scroll right on down until you have everything highlighted. Then you need to hit Command and C together, or you can go up, click on Edit, and click Copy. Then go to Word or Google Docs and paste it into a new document. I've already done that on this document, but all you would do is open up Word. It'll ask you, do you want to open up a document? Do you want to create a new one? You'd obviously go to New, and then once it opened up the new document, that's when you would just paste it right on there. So here's your fresh test. You can go in, you can see on the multiple choice, well, okay, question 2, who led the Spartans against a greatly superior Persian army? I selected Themistocles. Themistocles, we know, did not lead the Spartans, so we need to figure out who actually led the Spartans in this question. And that's where you're going to do a little bit of research, a little bit of looking for that. All right? So this is going to be due still on Friday. You should be able to knock out a majority of it tomorrow when I'm gone. Got a couple of sick kiddos at home. That's why I'm not going to be in. But if you do have a question, email me. I'll try to get back to you. But again, this is not due at the end of the hour. Hopefully you can get it done in that time, and I'll put up some. I'm not going to have a Dropbox or anything. You just need to turn it in to me on Tuesday if you get it done, or whenever you do this week. But make sure you're working on completing this. This is a great opportunity to get a few more points, especially before parent-teacher conferences next week, and see that grade improve. If you have questions, again, email me, but I should be back if everything goes the way it should on Tuesday. We're going to start Rome. I'll introduce a project to you guys, and we'll get moving. All right, I hope you guys have a great Monday. Hopefully see you Tuesday.